Elite. Is it the most overused, misinterpreted, watered down word in all of baseball? Or is it something that you need to be paying very, very close attention to and your career is actually dependent on it? Well, I'm going to answer that question in today's video. It's coming up right now.
And now, the most trusted name in all of youth sports, here's Coach Mark.
Hey there, it's Coach Mark. Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to share this message with you. We're going to talk about this word elite. Is it important? Is it necessary for you to be elite to play at the next level? Well, let's first define what this word elite even means. According to Webster's dictionary, I looked it up. Here's the definition of elite: a select group that is superior in terms of ability or qualities to the rest of the group or society. Let me say it one more time. A select group that is superior, that's the key word, in terms of ability or qualities to the rest of the group or society. So let's use our world. A group of players that are superior to the rest of the group. So the answer about is elite important? The answer is 100% yes. Here's why. Let's just look at some stats. Less than 7% of high school baseball players are going to get to play college, okay? So let's just do the math on that. 93% of high school players will not get to play. So you can clearly see that the 7% is in the very, very, very small minority of the overall baseball players. So that group you would say is elite. Okay, now if you want to take it to Division I, it's going to drop down below 3%. Okay, so 97% of high school players are not going to get to play Division I baseball. So again, I'm answering the question, is elite important? It's required. It is mandatory. If you just look at the stats, that little group of players are superior to the rest of the players. Now, this is where we're really going to spend some time today. We're going to talk about some things that you can do to put yourself in the category of elite. And I promise you, it's not going to be what you think it is. I'm going to give you 5 things right now that you can do that will put you in the category of elite. And I will prove to you that you are elite. Let's get started on that. All right, so 5 things that you could be doing that puts you in the elite category. Now, like I said, these are not things that you're gonna normally think would put you into an elite category, but I promise you they will. Here's how I know. I'm in touch with hundreds and thousands of baseball kids, players, families, and I ask the questions that I'm going to talk about right now, and most kids are not in the elite category when it comes to these categories. Most parents are not either, okay? These are all things that you can do. You can make the choice to be elite. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, watch baseball as a family, but very, very specifically. Here's what I mean. Most people would probably say, oh yeah, we watch some baseball together. We enjoy watching our favorite teams play together. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about watching baseball not like a fan, but like a student of the game. So I want to give you a couple assignments, a couple things that you could do that 97% of the kids out there and the parents are not doing. Are you ready? Okay, when you watch baseball, I want you to have a quality at bat chart. Okay, if you don't know what that is, there's another level for you to get better at. Understand what quality at bats are and start charting when you watch, sitting in your living room, watching these games with your son, kids with your parents, charting quality bats. Why? Why is that so important? Because as a hitter, you want to understand what it takes to be an elite level hitter. These people you're watching on TV understand quality at bats. They're working the counts. They're doing a lot of things that are the reasons that they're on TV playing. So quality at bats. Okay, here's the next thing. Pitch charts. You could be watching a game, especially if you're a pitcher, and be charting pitches and start understanding why pitchers throw what they throw in certain circumstances. You can get really good at that. If you're a hitter and you do that, you can start understanding tendencies of pitchers. But that's a very intense way to watch a game, hanging on every single pitch. And it gets fun when you start projecting or predicting which pitch is going to be thrown. You can have a little contest to see who's better at predicting which pitch is going to be thrown. Okay, so we got quality at bats, we got charting pitches. Those are two. I'll give you one more. Get your stopwatch out and start timing guys home to first, okay? Start understanding the speed of the game by a stopwatch. You know, you probably noticed that scouts always have stopwatches. The reason is because there's a timing of the game. They know how fast guys should be home to first. They know when there's a ground ball hit in the infield, how quickly does that shortstop need to get the ball and get it over to first base. But if you watch baseball casually, you have no idea how fast the game is being played. So here's how it works. Guys up to bat, you got your stopwatch. The moment he starts his swing, the moment he starts, those scouts are starting their stopwatch. He hits a ground ball, he's running to first, you time it, and you start looking at times home to first, okay? How does that help you? If you're an infielder, when you go out and start taking ground balls, you can start taking ground balls with a stopwatch. So somebody hits you a ball, the second they're hitting the ball, the stopwatch starts. You got to field the ball in the time that guys are getting down to first base, okay? That's very, very specific. All right, let me go on to number 2. It's related to watching baseball, but this time you're going to do it in person. You're actually going to go to a baseball game as a family. But again, you're not going with your popcorn and your hot dogs and casually watching. You are going as a student of the game. Remember, I'm going to keep reminding you, this is what most people do not do. Okay, if you want to be elite, you do what most people don't do. Okay, most people don't go to a game. They don't get there 2 hours before the game, peeking through the fence or hopefully trying to get in the game before the game starts, and they watch the pitcher warming up. Okay, they go down in the bullpen and they watch, what is this pitcher doing before he even gets to the bullpen? He's out there running, pole to pole, then he's doing all kinds of stretches, then he's loosening up his arm, then he's doing some long toss, then he goes into the bullpen. He does all these things. The average fan never they don't pay attention to any of that. But you, as a student of the game, you definitely do. That's one thing. Then you run over and you watch BP. But you're not just watching to see how many home runs they hit. You're watching, what do they do in the first round? Okay, how do they look? Are they bunting? What does their bunting technique look like? Okay, now the first round, are they hitting the ball opposite? Are they pulling the ball? What you're going to find out is most of them are oppo. Second round, they're through the middle. Third round, situational hitting, first and second, moving the runner, whatever. And then at the end of their BP is when they usually drop the barrels and hit some poolside bombs. But that's not how they go out and start their BP. They're professionals, or they're elite level hitters. Elite level hitters don't just go out and just start whacking away. That's what average high school kids do. Okay? And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just saying, if you want to be elite, you don't just go out and just start swinging away randomly. Okay, there's a purpose for everything you do. In fact, a lot of the top hitters will start with tee work before they even take BP. Okay, so you can at the game you can watch the on-deck hitters. How many fans do you think are zeroing in and watching specifically what the guy on deck is doing to get ready to hit? I promise you, they're eating their popcorn and hot dogs. They're not paying attention to the guy on deck. But elite players watching a game, they're watching that, okay? They're watching that. Here's another thing you might be watching. Your position. Where does your position line up on the field? Let me just give you an example. If you go to an average any high school game, you will see the outfielders hugging the lines. I don't know why, but they do. They're always over on the lines. If you go to a college game or a pro game, the left fielder and the right fielder look like they're in the gap. Why? Because they're trying to catch balls in fair territory. They're not trying to catch balls in foul territory. So there's a double hit in the gap. Have you ever wondered why they catch those balls? Because of where they're lined up. But if you go to a game and never pay attention to where they're lined up, you might not even understand that. Okay, same thing with double play. I go to high school games and it's a double play situation and they're not in double play depth at all. Okay, so if you're a elite level player, you're up 3, in 3, pinch in the middle in double play depth. Go watch a college game, pro game, watch in a double play situation. Where are those infielders? Okay, guys at third baseman, when are they up? When are they not up? Okay, if you start looking at alignment, you will learn a lot. Because I promise you, if somebody goes to scout you and you don't even know how to line up, you're over a left fielder hugging the line, it's a big red mark beside your name. Wow, it doesn't even know where to play the position. Okay, so those are some things that you can do in person to watch a baseball game. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears now. That's watching baseball as a student of the game. But let me give you 3 things right now that you could be doing physically that's going to put you in a category almost all by yourself as a player. Okay, so 3, 4, and 5 are physical things that you could do. Here's the first one, jump rope. Okay, jump rope. Sounds so simple, right? But I'm not talking about going out and jumping like this. I'm talking about jumping like a professional jump roper. It's possible. And if you're an athlete, it's not that hard, but most kids are never going to do it, okay? When I have tryouts, I usually bring jump ropes and I throw them out there and I say, who can jump rope? And almost nobody can jump rope, okay? But if a kid jumps out there and starts doing it, I can jump rope. My kids can jump rope because it was an important thing growing up because it's an athletic thing to do. It's also great for your cardiovascular, but it's great for your balance. It's great for your rhythm. It's great for your timing. It's great for your legs. Most kids don't do it. All right, ready for number 4? Number 4 is juggle, okay? Juggle. Do you know how many kids cannot juggle? Almost all of them. Why? It's a hand-eye coordination thing they just don't do. But man, when I see kids that can juggle, you know what I think? There's an athlete. There's a baseball player. Because a lot of baseball players, elite level baseball players, can juggle. Okay, I can juggle. My kids can juggle. Why? Because it was important growing up. We wanted to be athletes. We wanted to have good hand-eye coordination. So learn how to juggle. And what's number 5? Number 5 is pull-ups. Pull-ups are a great indicator of strength. It's embarrassing of how many people cannot do a pull-up. I saw a YouTube video one day. A guy stood out at a mall and asked people to come over. He would give them $100 if they could do a pull-up, and he only gave out, I think, 2 $100 bills in the entire day. That's how few people could do one pull-up or one chin-up. But you, as an athlete, you should be able to bang out the pull-ups and the chin-ups. If you can't, all it does is scream you're not very strong, you don't work on it, it's not important to you, you're not trying to be elite, you're in the group of 97% of the kids that can't do pull-ups, okay? But man, if I have a tryout and there's a way to see who can do pull-ups, I always know the kids that work hard because they go over and they start banging them out and everybody else is like, oh my gosh. All it is just focus on it, work on it. These things are not things that you can't do. You can jump rope, you can juggle, you can do pull-ups. And if you do that, you will put yourself in a very small percentage of baseball players, okay? You will be elite in those categories. Those first 2 things I mentioned, watching baseball at home, watching baseball at a game, it'll make you understand the game at a much higher level. Your baseball IQ will go up. You will be elite. Okay, so there you go, people. 5 things that you can do right now to put yourself in the category of elite. Let's see you go do it. And I'll talk to you on the next video. God bless. Moms, dads, Coach Mark here. Did you know that there was more help available to you? It's true. Now, we love doing our YouTube videos. We're going to continue to do them. And please, by the way, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit some comments, get engaged with us. That helps build our YouTube channel so we can continue providing this free content. But in addition to that, you may not know about the Ambassadors Group. That is the consulting company that I formed specifically to get intimately involved with certain families, players, to help them all the way through the journey of youth sports. We're starting with kids as early as 10 and 11 years old. Now, I know all the haters out there are going to say, what are you doing with 10-year-olds? You know what? We're preparing these kids for the journey ahead. There's a big journey coming, and those that are prepared for it are going to do fine. Those that are unaware of what it's all about are going to really struggle in today's uber competitive environment. And parents, there's no guidebook of how to do this. Youth sports is a phenomenon. When I was a kid, there was no parent involvement. But now, as you know, you're very involved. So we're helping guide parents through this journey. There's a lot of things coming your way. If you have help, they can go smoothly, but if you don't and you wing it on your own, it can be a disaster. Okay, I can't get into all the details now, but trust me, in 20 years, I've seen a lot of people blow it because they just didn't know what they were doing, okay? Not trying to fearmonger you, I'm trying to help you understand it's hard to get to the next level. 97% of high school players will never play Division I baseball. 93% will never play any college baseball. Those are the stats, okay? Pretty sobering. But here's another stat for you. Nearly 100% of our clients are moving on to the next level. And you might say, how is that possible? Here's how. We are very selective with who we choose to work with, okay? We're also very specific on what needs to happen. We have a game plan. We execute the plan. We make adjustments along the way because there are things that happen that we can't foresee. We're good at making adjustments. And then when the time comes, we have a database full of college coaches that are supporting us. Because think about it, if you're a college coach, wouldn't you love a program that is actually grooming kids with integrity, with commitment, with goal setting, with attitude, with respect, with community outreach, being a great teammate. I mean, I could go on and on of the things that we're doing with our clients to help prepare them for these guys at the next level. So, if that sounds interesting to you, here's what you need to do. Fill out the little form down below. Answer a couple simple questions, and if we think you qualify, we're going to get back in touch with you. We're going to set up a private consultation just for you, and we'll talk about your son. We'll talk about the plan that he could have, and we'll find out if this makes sense that we work together. That's the Ambassadors Group. So I hope to talk to you soon.